Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. It's late. I'm cooking this recipe so I can take it for work tomorrow. It's an easy one. It is called pumpkin, broad bean and risoni salad. It serves 4 as a light meal or obviously 2 as a larger meal. So here's what we need. Come on in and I'll talk you through the ingredients and tell you what we're going to be doing to get it to finished. Okay, so first step is get your oven onto 220 degrees. I'm just putting mine on 200 because it gets really hot anyway. That is so that we can roast the pumpkin. So we're going to need a tray that we can put the pumpkin on. 600 grams of Kent pumpkin, peeled, deseeded and cut into 2 centimeter pieces. That is a little bit under 600 grams, but it's close enough. 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil. I'm just using normal olive oil. 2 teaspoons of cumin seeds. 1 teaspoon of ground coriander. Salt and fresh ground black pepper. Salt. I found these at the back of the fridge, so I'm going to see if I can grind any out of those. They're both pepper. 300 grams of frozen broad beans. And these were a little bit hard to get, but straight into Woolies and they were there, so they're good. 1.5 cups of risoni. I may not have 1.5 cups in there, but near enough is good enough. 80 grams of pine nuts. I definitely didn't have enough there, so I've brought a 100-gram bag as well. 100 grams of feta crumbled. I've got 200 grams there, which is great because I love feta. 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. I'm going to squeeze the fresh lemon juice out of the lemon. And finally, 1/2 cup of finely chopped fresh chives. We may not get 1/2 cup out of a bunch, but we're going to see how we go. All right, so let's get going. So grab yourself a tray, give it a spray, and what we're going to do is we are going to cut the pumpkin into 2 centimeter pieces. It did say we don't want it, we want to peel it, so that'll be good. So let's get going. Okay, so now the pumpkin looks like this. Grab from the 1/4 cup of olive oil, 1 tablespoon, spread it all over. And then set that other olive oil aside. Now what we want to put on top of it is the 2 teaspoons of cumin seeds. So I've got this really cool teaspoon measurement here. That's the 2 teaspoons there. Sprinkle that over the top. And grab the ground coriander. We want a teaspoon of that. We're going to sprinkle that over the top next. I can never open these packets. Half the problem is I don't have fingernails. Alright. Sprinkle over the top. That didn't go very well. And finally, we want to put salt and pepper over the top. see which ones of these peppers work. Oh, I got pepper coming out of that. Alright, that, give it a little bit of a toss. Alright, into the oven for 30 minutes or until golden brown. Okay, so while that's cooking for half an hour, next step, we're going to cook the broad beans in a large saucepan of salted boiling water. So I've got saucepan, I'm going to pop some salt in it, pop it on to boil, and we want 300 grams of frozen broad beans, which is actually 2 cups. So I'm going to get this on and I'll be back. So once they start boiling, cook them for 5 minutes. Now my recipe is suggesting that I actually refresh under cold running water, drain well, and then remove the skins and discard. I've just Googled it. You can peel them if you want. You don't have to peel them, so that's up to you. I probably won't peel them because to me it's time consuming. I've just measured out my risoni. Unfortunately, I've only got 3/4 of a cup, not 1.5 cups. But technically it doesn't really matter because I'm doing this as two serves, not 4. So it's fine for me, but not fine for you if you're serving 4. So to cook the risoni is exactly the same way as you would cook any other pasta because it is a pasta anyway. So water, bit of salt. When it comes to the boil, in it goes. Cook it for 8 minutes. Didn't say 8 minutes. I made up that 8 minutes. Just until it's al dente. So as I say, exact same way as you'd cook any other pasta. That's how you cook that one. So once that's boiling, that's going in. So the broad beans are just starting to come to the boil because my timer is busy and I've got 17 minutes for the pumpkin. I'm just going to set my normal timer on my phone. So 5 minutes. The risoni, once that comes to the boil, we'll deal with that. 48, 9:53 p.m, not a.m. Alright, 5 minutes. So once the risoni is ready, we're doing that. We're going to measure out 1/2 cup of pine nuts, which we're going to toast in a frying pan, which I can't do at the moment because I've got all my baking trays at the back. But that's fine though. And then the only other thing we have to do is chop up the chives and chop up the feta. I'm probably going to use all the feta, except a sneaky little bit that I'll take for myself. Alright, now that the broad beans are really bubbling away, I'm just going to turn them down. And the water's coming up to the boil soonish for the risoni. So the good thing about this dish is get the pumpkin on straight away, and then while that's going on, do the rest. So you want to grab yourself a bowl to put everything in when it's done. So I'm going to grab that now. So I've just got my little saucepan ready. That's a frying pan, by the way. Just so that as soon as the broad beans come off the heat, can slide that one straight on. They won't need long. All it is just so they're toasted. So you can even stir them with just a teaspoon. Okay, the alarm's just gone off to tell me get the broad beans off. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to turn that hot plate down. And that way I can put the pine nuts on. Just to show you, that is what our broad beans look like. I'm going to put them through the colander and then refresh them with cold water. So as I say, this is a time where you can decide whether you want to peel them or whether you want to just leave them as they are. Some of them are actually peeling out, which I guess in a way is pretty good. So apparently that's what they look like out of their shells, and that's the shell. So entirely up to you what you want to do. I'm happy to leave them like that. So I'm going to set that aside. So once you've rinsed them with the cold water, pop them into the bowl. They'll cool pretty quick. The best way to cool something down really quickly is put it into something cold. Our water's just starting to come to the boil for the risoni, so I'm going to pop the risoni in. And just keep an eye on that because I've got that on a very high heat. I've got the pine nuts on a low heat. I'm going to chop the feta up and then we're going to bring it all home. So with the chives, we want to cut them up really small, half a cup. Best way to do it is to get your kitchen scissors and just hold them very small. Cut them up into the cup. I'm just giving the risoni another 5 minutes. It's boiled over, so obviously I had too much water in, or the saucepan's not big enough, or both. And the pine nuts I've just given another stir. So the best way to do the chives as they come in a bunch is actually keep the elastic band on, because it will give you more leverage to actually cut it, as you can see. We're going good, and we have got 5 minutes before the pumpkin's ready. Near enough is good enough. Alright, I've made a bit of a mess everywhere, so whatever's on with the feta doesn't matter, it's going all in together. Alright, so all I got to do now is just squeeze the lemon. Another few minutes for everything else and we're ready to go. Okay, when the risoni's done, strain it through the colander. Right, we're just waiting on the pumpkin now and me to juice the lemon, so everything's nearly ready. Oh, that's the pumpkin. Okay, our pumpkin is ready. It looks awesome. So we're basically just going to shove it straight in the bowl. So, well, because it's really hot, I'm just going to grab my scraping stirring stick. And in it goes. I want to try and put all the cumin and that in there as well. Everything that was on top. Because that will actually help flavour everything. Alright, so that's all in. Tray's hot, do not touch it. Alright, perfect. Okay, in goes the risoni. Just give that a little bit of a toss. There's a little bit left over in here. I don't want the water in there though, so I'm going to get that out. Alright, scrape that in. Okay, that's looking good. Right, can't put that on there because everything's hot. Okay. Alright, so cook risoni. Add pine nuts, pumpkin and feta to risoni. In go the pine nuts. In goes the feta. You can see the colours there. Drizzle with lemon juice and remaining olive oil. Okay, so I've squeezed the lemon, because the best way to get lemon juice for a salad is to squeeze it from a lemon. Otherwise, if you don't have a lemon, you can just use the squeezy bottle like I sometimes use. Alright, perfect. You can put the rest of your lemon juice in a glass of water. It's very good for you. Alright, sprinkle with the chives. Season with a bit more salt and pepper if you want to, keeping in mind that you've already got plenty of salt and pepper that you had with the pumpkin. Alright. And there we have it. Pumpkin, broad bean and risoni salad. Serves 4 as a light meal, obviously 2 as a large main meal. Thank you for watching Cooking with Violet Vixen. I will catch you next time. Bye!